at 9:35 a.m. Um, Wayne, is the next meeting June 5th good for you?
Yes.
Okay, so June 5th will be the next meeting, 9:30 a.m.
Okay.
All right, so why don't we have 205 Atlantic as the first item on the list? You want to go ahead and present and
Sure. Deb Keller with Merrill Engineers and Land Surveyors. If I can share my screen, I don't know if that'll be helpful to just look at the plan quickly.
yes.
Carol, would it be possible to allow me to share my screen?
I don't think she can hear you, so
Oh,
Can
I'm
you try to-
I'm unfortunately disabled. It won't let me connect. So she has to allow me to share.
I can't share screen either here, so
Yeah,
because you emailed out the plans, I believe.
I did. Hopefully you've all seen them. So we did make the updates as requested. We've gone through our review with Dan. I think, Dan, you had mentioned before that we were pretty good to go. I'll let him speak and confirm that for me. But we have added the survey for the shoulder from 205 Atlantic up to the tie-in location where the existing flushing manhole is for the low pressure sewer main. We show the service connection. We have a redundant shutoff valve just before the connection. We are putting flowable fill within the 2 driveway crossings. The service itself will come from the site down and run very close along the shoulder or edge of the road. It seems like the best avenue to minimize impacts to the trees within the right-of-way. We did add, let's see, I think the last thing that was on our list was providing the waiver of liability for the alternative construction method, which would be if we needed to raise, go above the 5-foot minimum cover, that we would be installing pipe insulation. But we had talked about providing that waiver so that if we needed to do that, that was all set and ready to go.
So Dan, I know I saw the plans. Are you have you reviewed them since you sent them?
I have. They all look fine at this point in time. The only thing that was outstanding the last time we met was the waiver. And I believe that's now properly executed, so we should be all set.
Okay, Brian, do you have anything on 205?
No, I had nothing. Just I guess when we get to the point of construction, just to verify the tree locations, there was a kind of a large tree closer to the driveway that I'm not sure was shown, but
Okay.
Carol, problem is,
I just heard you, Carol. And just of note, one of the things that we did talk about that I will do once we get the okay from you guys is go back and amend our order of conditions with a conservation to include this service connection.
We'd just like to get a copy of that too.
Yes.
Now, Dan, do we absolutely know that the connection is going to be close to the driveway as it exits towards Sandy Beach, or is it further up where the Williamses came across the street? Because it's a flushing, you've got it set up as a flushing point, but I'm not sure if that's the flushing point that's on the 4-inch that hasn't been built, or maybe in that location, but that going from there towards Hull.
I believe, hold on, let me see. I'm just going to take a peek at the plan itself.
Yeah, Wayne, I think it's a 2-inch in that
Two.
location and then it turns into a 4-inch at the next
Later on.
driveway.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Or at least that's what I've seen on the as-built record plans.
Right. I only say that because one of the plans that I saw showed that the line coming from the house and barn was on the Sandy Beach side of the building. And that would put it, 50 or 60 feet from the actually edge of the driveway as the exit's there. So that's, so I didn't know, I just thought maybe we should have it located and, find it and, locate it so that so we don't get to one point and we need to go somewhere else.
Well, we did actually locate the flushing manhole that's in that driveway. So it's an actual rim elevation on the
Okay.
plan. So that's a field surveyed location.
Okay. Did that have did you know how deep the pipe was when you looked at that? Or no? Just valve, that's all.
Yeah, we didn't, I don't believe they opened it.
Okay.
So I wasn't provided any invert information for that.
Okay. So anyway, we want to proceed with this. We don't want to have anything to hang, but it just for the back of the mind, if it's not exactly there, we don't want to sort of have responsibility for having to take it a little further.
Yeah, I believe we have I think a note covers us here that we're asking the contractor to field verify location, size, and status of the existing sewer main and utility services so that we make sure the information that we've gathered via record information or field survey is accurate before they start construction.
Very good. Okay. So
I just have one question. I guess it's for Wayne and Paul. So is there, going forward, say this line has a leak on it, who's responsible, the town or is it, do we have any kind of like easement language or anything on that?
Typically, anything where it goes to a single service is the responsibility of the homeowner. Even though it's
From the shut-off valve in the street?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
I forgot about the, I don't know if this is the waiver that we just discussed earlier. I would just, taking a call from Bill, who's going to try and join us here shortly, but, there was one item that we talked about last time, which was, this is one of the scenic roads, and we knew you were going to dig near the trees and, just wanted to make sure that you were approaching the appropriate committee to let them know you may be going under the tree, through the tree, around the tree or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so I will be doing that filing or discussion with DPW at the same time that I amend the order of conditions. So we should be able to have both of those documents moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a planning board process.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So Cassandra Thayer, I think email her, you can copy me if she needed any kind of extra explanation.
Absolutely.
I think if you Google like Cohasset Scenic Road bylaw, the information's in there.
Yeah, I believe it's a pretty, at least the application process should be pretty quick. And then we can go through the discussion with the board.
Yeah. Applications are always quick as opinions.
Yes, I was just about to say that.
You might want to wait till the fall when there's no leaves on the tree, You don't want them to come out there and look at a beautiful oak in the spring.
Yeah. And just, I don't want to circumvent the process for the planning board, but just generally, if you are taking a tree, it usually comes back to kind of the DPW arborist and, some sort of mitigation. If you are taking a tree, you would, propose to donate at least the value of or two actual trees and plant them out there, something like So just keep in mind that that's usually how it ends if you
Eh.
if you do need to get a tree down.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on 205 Atlantic? Going once? Going twice? All right, Deb, thanks very much.
Thank you.
All righty.
Yeah, have a fantastic day.
Thank you. Yes, have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you.
You might want to tell the homeowners or potential homeowners, if you have them, come down to the Memorial Day event on Monday. The parade comes right down South Main Street and it goes right into the harbor. And
Oh, that
ends-
sounds great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great
Was
take.
there already a formal vote to approve?
I make a
Yeah.
motion to approve it.
Second,
Paul?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that's approved. I thought we had approved it at the last meeting. We were just waiting on the small details for Dan, but that's fine. So it is approved.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome. So Carol, I guess the process for you is to work with building inspector to let them know that 205 has been approved for sewer. You can just wave.
I think she still can't hear us,
Okay. All
but
right.
we'll tell her.
Okay.
It is recording.
All right. The next item on the agenda is the affluent pump 3. Scott is on. I think Rob is on.
Scott is on. Rob just had a jump. He had a 10 o'clock he has to prepare for. So I did a while ago. We sent over the 3 quotes for the effluent pump. Yeah, I mean it's we have 3 effluent pumps. That one is not working. It's non-repairable anymore, and it definitely needs to be replaced.
So this is not the same pump that we were approving the 400,000, was it?
I'm not aware of what pump is in that 400,000.
What was the amount of this quote you're talking about?
This one is, I believe it's 13 and change. I got pulling it up here.
No, different one.
Yes, 13,000.
Yep,
Correct.
okay.
I make a motion to approve it.
Okay, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Approved to go ahead and spend the 13,000 for the pump, the
Excellent.
thereof, effluent pump. And what's the status of the other 2, Scott?
They are, so those 3 pumps are original to me, I will say. So they've all been here more than 11 years.
Okay.
So we're replacing this one. You know, it's something we should probably put on the radar, as you know, the other 2 will need to be replaced, I would imagine, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I don't remember this being on our capital budget list. I don't know how we missed it a month ago.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we what's coming up on Monday, June 3rd is our annual town meeting. And what we have on the agenda there is to approve the 500,000 for the other grid system,
Correct.
and also the 90,000 towards the grant. And that grant is supposed to be looking at things like these pumps. So I don't know, you know, outside of your monthly maintenance schedule, taking a look at the other 2 and getting us an idea during that research process from the grant, they should be able to include this type of information, I would think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Okay, anything else on your side, Scott?
No, the only other thing I have is we just really need to figure out this membrane situation with side 1. It's it's getting closer to its end, side one. And this is just dragging on and dragging on. You know, we just kind of cleaned side one a little bit. It didn't really recover very much. So we're just not getting very much production out of side one at all. So we're just looking to kind of stoke the fires a little bit here. And, you know, our other concern, Paul, is that Veolia is going to be on site in 2 weeks. And Rob and I were thinking, you know, we would really like to have that signed contract, maybe even a possible date of when side one will be at least coming before they come on site. Because now what's going to happen is in 2 weeks, they're going to come on site. They're going to raise side two to put the aeration skirts on.
Yeah.
And we just kind of feel like they're going to start investigating, right? And we just don't want any. I'm just concerned about them looking at what we have before we have crossed all the T's and dotted the I's with our side one. And I hate for it to become like some type of witch hunt where they're down here looking for stuff. And then all of a sudden, you know, and maybe I'm just really overthinking it a little bit, but it would be nice if we could figure out this membrane stuff before they got here. You know,
We can. We've just been, Bill could probably fill us in better, but we've been chasing the two attorneys between their vacations and their court appearances. We haven't been able to get the two of them to finalize the contract to us. So I wasn't even aware that you think it's coming.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Finally, I'm in here. I'm going to send a letter to him this morning. This is complete bovine scatology. I don't know why we are sort of second class to everything else that's going on. I mean, this is a big deal for us, bigger than anything. And
Yeah.
I'll send it to Michelle
We're running out of Windex to spray on these things.
yeah, exactly right. I mean, it's like good point. I mean, it's like,
correct.
you know, we need a meeting next week, hard date, no vacation, no other client. You focus on us for 2 days, period.
So you're going to take the lead on that, Bill? Bill, you're going to take care of that?
I am. I'm going to send an email out and I'll copy the board. And Scott, yourself on, we need a date, hard date next week to finalize this thing, period. And Scott, I was getting the tail end of it. When is Veolia showing up next week? Or is it next week?
6/10, 2 weeks. June 10th, they're supposed to be on site for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I mean, it's very easy. I can just call them and say, hey, we just can't do it. Hey, we'll
Now,
have
what exactly are they going to be doing?
So they're coming to put the new aeration skirts onto side two.
All right.
So they're going to have to lift all the cassettes up. There is 1, 12. There's like 24 to each cassette. And they said they're going to screw them into place and epoxy them and do all this stuff, line them all up, blah, blah, blah. But again, I was just concerned of them being here without, you know, all our ducks in a row. I just don't want, you know, I can certainly make sure no pictures are being taken, none of that kind of stuff. You know, like I said, I just don't want anything to hurt the acquisition of side one membrane.
Yeah, no, it's actually a good catch because, you know, if I was Veolia and I had the option to go into a site where there might be, you know, lawsuits and things like that, I certainly am going to snoop around like big time.
Correct. So, yeah, other than that, yeah, life's good here.
All right.
All right, so we need to get this executed by June 10th or we reschedule them. But I don't want to reschedule them for side two because that's the one we're living on.
Yeah.
Correct. And who knows when they'll be able to come back. They may say, oh, well, if you can't come now, it'll be months.
Yeah, you got to figure that everything that they do or say is being affected by whatever we do or say with a potential lawsuit. I mean, everything that they send to us, talk to us about, insinuate to us is being impacted by all of this stuff.
Right. And Scott, can I have a question? And that
Yes.
is what they're doing now something that has to be done to side one also? and if we replace the membranes on side one, do we have to add what it is that they're doing now? Or is it already included?
No, it's my understanding that when the new membranes come, they will come with the new updated skirts. What kind of happened was we were kind of the first people to get these new SA membranes, and we were kind of their guinea pig. That's kind of they threw out the different type of skirts that we changed all, and then we realized that they were no good. So they being Veolia have come up with a new and improved aeration skirt that they are now putting on all their membranes. So when we get the new side one, it'll already have them, but that's why they're coming with the new skirts for side two.
Are they charging us for this?
I am not aware of that side of it.
Because we haven't asked them to do it. They're doing it as an upgrade to the system. I'd presume that it's no charge.
Yeah, it should be covered under the warranty, I would think.
Some stuff isn't, I think, I think that they think the warranty is up for debate.
Correct. But yes, quick answer, Wayne, is yes, side one should come all intact, all good to go.
Okay.
I just had a quick question, Scott. So like, say if you got to put those skirts on side two, is side one operating enough to be able to pull them to do that?
Not really. Side one would not be able to handle all the flow on its own, but they will only have to take one cassette out at a time to do the skirt. So we'll just shut off one of the 7 cassettes on side two. So we'll be fine. We'll still have 6 cassettes to work with while they work on one. So they'll do that one, put it back in place, put that one back online, raise another one. So we'll only have one of the 7 out at a time. So we should be fine.
Sounds good. Thanks.
So Bill, we set the next meeting for June 5th. We approved 205 Atlantic Ave.
Okay,
The only thing that they have to do is go to planning board about the scenic road bylaw issue in case they have to bump up against a tree.
yeah,
Then we approved purchasing a effluent pump for 13,000 and change.
good.
Scott's going to kind of assess the other two. And we got to get that on a cycle of some sort. And I know with the grant coming, over the next 8 to 12 months, they should tell us how well all the mechanics are working at the facility. We'll have new skirts on one membrane. We'll be getting a replacement membrane. We've got this pump. At town meeting, we should be approved for the big grit screw grinder system for 450,000. So that we can plan getting online at some point and kind of tie all that in with this grant stuff, find out where we are.
Okay. Sounds good.
So anybody have any other business? There was a couple of plans that were floating around from the planning board or conservation. Somebody had a someone had a swimming pool that Dan wanted to make sure it wasn't tied in to sewer, right, Dan?
Yeah, pretty much.
But that was on Black Rock Road, right?
It didn't look, no, I think that was on North Main.
Okay.
Yeah, might be the one right at the corner by Sawyer.
Didn't look like it would be, just a confirmation. We also got plans for 94 Black Rock too in recently, and they still have to submit a revised application, and they also have to go before the water department, so I don't think we really need to take action at this point.
Yeah, I heard there's gonna be somewhat of a subdivision in there, like maybe 2 or 3 homes.
Yes, 3 homes.
Yeah.
Was that Black Horse Lane or
Yeah, Black Horse, yes, right, Black Horse.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
listed as 94 Black Horse.
Yes,
Yeah.
down in the harbor, we talked about water coming from South Main down one of those side streets and cutting across, but I'm not sure if they're gonna do that or not.
Now, that project is absolutely going full tilt now because they've cut all the trees down, they're pulling all the stumps out and everything like that. So we want to make sure that they're not installing the utilities before they, sort of what they, as they have in the past.
They,
Yeah.
Sorry, go
So they were before the Water Commission yesterday, and they're in discussions about the water main extension on Black Horse up there. So they are moving ahead, and I believe it was Nino DeNuno. So I believe he was gonna try to get before you guys again at some point. But if you don't hear anything, Carol, I think maybe if we reach out to him for approval in the next couple of weeks. Sorry.
yeah, we had given them some preliminary comments. They responded to those recently with revised plans. But again, they still need to define how many bedrooms each house will have with a revised application. And it would be good to know what they're doing with the water department, just in case that changes, positioning or what they're doing.
So Dan, just as far as the water, they were, what they were proposing was a water main, an 8-inch water main up to the end of the new circle kind of cul-de-sac. I think they were proposing 3 new homes. And the Water Commission requested that they look at looping that main to the end of Cedar Lane. So they're looking at that, in lieu of the water fees, the water connection fees, it would make sense to loop that. So, for firefighting, public health.
Sure.
So they're looking at that and looking at, is the permitting, can they permit that and can they do that? So that's kind of where they stand. They're going to be back before the water board in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought there was a wetlands issue there on Cedar to come across to Black Horse.
I think it's more of a ledge, a ledge
Okay.
question.
Okay,
Yeah, you're right, Wayne. It is a ledgy area, and there is an avenue where they can stay out of the buffer zone. There is
okay,
kind of an isolated wetland up there, but they can stay away from that.
okay. And Carol, if you could follow up with John Halloran for us on, we have heard nothing on 147 South Main. He's advertising occupancy, but he hasn't paid us for sewer yet that I'm aware of. And also 1 Pleasant Street has not come before the sewer commission to give us their final plans on their facility. They have not been approved for sewer either. Anybody have anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good.
all right.
Make a
Scott's all
motion.
set, Brian all set, and Dan's all set?
All set.
Okay, yeah, I can't see anybody, so, make sure everyone gets out this weekend, enjoy the Memorial Day weekend. I'm, going to be in Cleveland, Ohio for a family event. So I won't be able to be in the harbor for Memorial Day.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be a good time.
Yeah. So is
I
there a
think-
motion?
Yeah, I'll
Go ahead.
second it.
All those
All
in
in favor?
favor?
Aye.
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 Have a
All
good
right.
weekend.
Okay, we're going to see you June 5th. Thank you.
See you later, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.